Cynthia. Now, today's topic again will be seeing just having a glance of computer system organization. After completing this computer system organization, just recap. We'll move on to the next topic. These topics, what we are going to discuss now, those topics we have discussed already. You just look at the screen. We have discussed already what is computer. Yeah, of course, a computer is an electronic device that can perform any mathematical or any variety of operations is called just as a device, right? Is an electron computer is an electronic device that can perform any variety of operations with the help of some instructions or collection of instruction called as program. Is a computer. Actually, computer is an electronic device which will be performing some operation based upon the instruction given by the user. That is only computer. And then actually computer will accept an input from the user, and it will be processing that input, and it will be producing the output. Actually, based upon this concept only, all computer can work. A computer will receive the input, and it will process the input, and it will be producing the desired output. That is also we can say for definition of computer. Now I have said two different definition of computer. One is computer is an electronic device which can perform variety of operation depending upon the instruction given by the user. That is one definition. Another definition is computer is an electronic device which will be receiving input from the user, and it will be processing that input, and it will be producing the desired result. These things we can write for the definition of computer. And then you just look at the picture which is given. This is our computer. Many of them are imagining our monitor is called as computer. It's wrong. Entire thing like monitor, keyboard, mouse, CPU, everything together will be calling it as computer. So it is given at present life there is no automatic that does most of the things. Most of the works are done by just click on any button, or if I press anything, automatically it will be performing some operation, and it will be producing the result within a few proper of what is that few fraction of seconds. Like we'll consider a simple example, ATM machine. If I need to get a money, I need not go and approach any banks or any bank people. Directly I can insert a card inside a machine. That machine will be detecting whether that user is a valid user or not by giving password as well as card validation. And then if it is valid user, it will be asking further information, just will be typing and just will be clicking to perform some operations like what is that debiting money, all those things. The same thing, that ATM also will be called as a computer or as an electronic device. The concepts we have discussed already. Similarly, as I said already, computer can perform any process depending upon five major functions. One is it will be accepting data by the way of input, and it will be storing the data, and it will be processing the data as required by the user, and it will be controlling all the operations of computer, and it will be giving the desired output. So these are the five major functions will be performed by our computer. First, it will be accepting the input from the user, and it will be storing the data, and it will be processing the data, and then it will be controlling all the operations of the computer, and it will be giving the desired output. Actually, each and every process will have IPO, input process output cycle. Even if it is a simple process, will have all these three components, three functions in our computer. This also we have discussed already. We have seen what are the functional components of computer. Look at this diagram. Functional units of computer: input device, output device, memory. The memory we have seen already, only one memory, that is general commonly called memory, but it can be classified into two types. One is main memory or primary memory, next one is secondary memory or auxiliary memory. These are the two different types of memory. And then we have CPU. Inside that CPU will have three different units. One is control unit, another one is arithmetic logical unit, and another third one is register. These concepts we have discussed already. Just a small recap of all those things. And then if you are taking CPU, it's one of the unit which is present inside our computer. CPU, actually CPU stands for central processing unit. We'll be calling it as brain of computer, and it will be converting input into output by performing some operations. Actually, this operations can be performed with the help of three different units, subunits, which is present inside the CPU. One is arithmetic logic unit, another one is control unit, another one is memory, that is register. Actually, arithmetic logical unit will be used for performing all the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then logical operation like comparison or decision making. All those processes will be processed with the help of arithmetical logic unit. The next one is control unit. It will be controlling and it will be coordinating all the devices which is connected with our which is present in our computer. Next, memory of computer. Memory refers to the place where data is stored temporarily. Actually, these are the functional components. We'll see the memory of computer in next topic. I hope you people would have remembered all these things what we have discussed already in our previous session. Yeah, we have seen already functional components of computer, and then different generations of computer, and then we have seen different types of computer. All these topics we have discussed already. Now I have given a small recap of all these things like functional components and then what is computer. Now we'll move on to the next topic, memory of computer. Do you know what is memory of human being, which will be called as memory of human being? Anyone just say which one will be called as memory of human being? Yeah, of course, what answer you said now, that is correct. Brain of human being will be called as memory of a human being. Yeah, similar to that, in our computer we can store the data temporarily or permanently by using our memory. Input, whenever we are giving any input to the computer, before processing that input, the data will be stored inside that memory unit only. Memory means a place where data will be stored temporarily or permanently. And then this memory of a computer can be classified into two types. One is primary memory, another one is secondary memory. Primary memory will be called as main memory. Just understand, primary memory is otherwise called main memory. It will store the information, or that is, It will store the information in the sense either data or instructions. And then in secondary memory, it will be storing the data permanently for future purpose. Actually, at the time of processing, the data will be stored only inside the primary memory. Once if you are saving it, the data will be moving to the hard disk, then that will be called as secondary memory. Actually, primary memory can be classified into two main types. One is RAM, another one is ROM. Primary memory is otherwise called main memory. This main memory can be classified into two types. One is RAM, another one is ROM. Actually, RAM stands for random access memory. Random access memory, you would have seen this. Look at this picture, you would have seen this inside our CPU. Actually, this is a working memory. Whenever I am performing any process, let me say one simple example. It just I have opened MS Word, and if I am typing some content inside that MS Word, until I am saving that MS Word, the content will be stored once only inside our RAM, that is our temporary memory. And then once if I am saving it, the data will be transferring from RAM to hard disk. This thing will be happening whenever we are just doing some work, like opening a Word document and typing something without saving. Until we are saving the content will be stored only inside our temporary memory, will be called as RAM, random access memory. Once if I am saving the data will be transferring from the temporary memory to the permanent memory. It will be called as our hard disk. So the data will be stored in RAM. Actually, not only for this purpose, whatever purpose it may be, will be using our primary memory for storing the data and retrieving the data. Actually, this RAM is a volatile memory. Do you know what is volatile? It is a temporary memory that lifetime will be for a short period of time. Actually, if you turn off your computer at the time of working, automatically your data will be getting erased. That is only volatile. Volatile means it is a temporary memory. Once if you turn off the computer, the data will be erased from that memory. It is called volatile memory. And then the data is actually, if I turn off my computer, the data will be getting lost. Just understand, this is only random access memory, RAM. And then next one is ROM, read only memory. Read only memory is used to store instruction provided by manufacturer. Actually, RAM content is our user own content, but ROM content, it is not like that. At the time of manufacturing itself, the content will be written inside that ROM read only memory. Actually, this read only memory will have our BIOS program, basic input output system program. At the time of manufacturing, this data will be instruction will be recorded, and it will be stored. Actually, this ROM only will be helping us to load operating system to our load operating system from our storage device. Actually, it is also known as firmware. If the data is stored permanently on it, so it is a non-volatile in the sense it will be a permanent data. Just look at this picture. They have given just a unit of memory. The elementary unit of memory is a bit. Actually, in case of our computer, the data, all the data will be stored in the form of bit, that is cells. Each and every cell. Actually, if I just imagine I'm storing hi message, the equivalent binary value is, just I'm saying for example, you just imagine the hi message binary value is 10110 10110. If that is taken as hi message, Yeah, each and every data, like 1 will be stored in a separate memory, 0 will be stored in a separate memory, 1 again, our data is 101101. Now each and every 10, all those things will be stored in separate memory. It will be called as cell. Actually that size measurement of this cell will be calculated by using a measuring unit bit. one one will be stored in, 1 or 0 will be stored in a cell. That measuring unit of that cell will be a bit. So according to that, 4 bit will be called as 1 nibble, 8 bit will be called as 1 byte, 1024 bytes will be called as 1 kilobyte, 1024 kilobytes is equal to 1 megabyte, 1024 megabyte is equal to 1 gigabyte, 1024 gigabyte is equal to 1 terabyte, 1024 terabyte is equal to 1 petabyte. This is the memory measurement of all the data. Just imagine, each and every data will be stored in the form of binary values, ones and zeros. Each 1 or 0 will be stored in a separate memory, will be called as cell. The measuring unit of each and every cell is bit. Just understand, be clear with this measuring unit. Now will be move on to the next topic, secondary storage. As we have discussed already, secondary storage is a permanent storage, will be storing the data and will be referring and will be retrieving for further purpose. Secondary memory will be called as auxiliary memory. Normally will be considering hard disk as a secondary memory. Actually, if I want, I can remove the hard disk and we can change the location of the hard disk. We can do all those things. Example of the secondary storage is hard disk, CD, DVD, pen drive, floppy, etc. All those things will be called as secondary storage devices. Actually we'll be seeing what is hard disk, what is floppy, CD, all those things we'll be discussing now. Just look at this hard disk. Actually hard disk, HDD will be calling HDD, that is hard disk drive. Is also called a hard drive, is also called as hard disk or disk drive. All these names are representing the same thing, hard disk. HDD, hard disk drive, or disk drive, or hard disk, or disk hard drive. All those things are referring same thing, hard disk. You don't get confused of this word. According to the situation, they'll be changing the name of the hard disk and they'll be calling it, but all those things are representing the same thing. Actually hard disk is a device which will be storing and retrieving the data permanently in the form of digital information. It consists of one or more rigid, hence hard, rapidly rotating disk. It will have a rapidly rotating disk coated with magnetic material, and this magnetic hits arranged with the right data surface and read it from them. Just to look at this picture, you can find out a read write header, like needle shape pen will be there, that will be called as read write header or needle. Actually it will be hard disk are sealed with a fixed cabinet and it will be called as fixed disk. You just understand. And the next thing is floppy disk. Look at this picture. Floppy disk, nowadays we are not using floppy disk. Actually initial stage we were using floppy disk. Actually it is a flexible magnetic material enclosed with cover, and then the capacity will be 1.44 MB. Initially we have used this, but nowadays we are not using because of shortage of memory. The maximum, that is main memory capacity is 1.44 MB. So we'll be moving on to the next secondary storage device, that is CD, compact disk. Actually that CD's capacity will be 700 MB, and then that size will be, that is capacity of standard will be 120 mm. Actually, it is a thin optical disc which is commonly to store audio and video data. Transfer rate speed will be 150 kilobit per second. Just to have a glance. Next one is DVD. DVD is like CD only, but the data which can be stored as more large than the CD. The DVD's capacity is 4.7 GB to 8.5 GB. It will be varying depending upon the different DVDs. Minimum capacity is 4.5 GB, maximum capacity is 4.7 GB, and maximum capacity is 4.5 GB. Actually, it will be called as optical disk storage device. See, the DVDs will be called as optical storage device. And then next, pen drive. Pen drive is a small, it's a portable memory. Wherever we want, we can carry it. Wherever we want to plug in, we can plug in that and we can use it. And then its capacity also, it's larger than CD and floppy, so it is very reliable. It is very easy to handle it. This will be called as pen drive will be called as it's a portable secondary storage. I hope you people will be understanding all those things what we have discussed now. Next, we'll be continuing with input devices, output devices in next session. Thank you.